Hello, my wonderful friends. It is time for another story. A Neckbeard fanfiction story. I love these. These are always the most interesting. You guys come up with just the craziest shit, so I'm excited. This is from our friend Babbsy-kun, and this is called The Perfect Date, a Neckbeard fanfiction. Let's get into it, shall we? As the sun shone into the room, Andrew awoke from his slumber. He grumbled as he wiped the sleep from his eyes. As he was doing so, he had an oh shit moment, and peered over to his wrist to his electronic watch. He saw that it was 8 a.m. and still at 100%. He sighed in relief.
Oh, thank God. I really should remember not to sleep with this thing on. It drains the battery too quickly.
He said as he got up from his bed. He walked over to the restroom and got ready for the day. Today was a special day. For today, he had a date with his girlfriend, Violet, at noon. He especially loved her name since it was also the name of his waifu from the anime Violet Evergarden. He looked into the mirror. His glorious neckbeard shone such grease that his 240-pound body also glistened in the light. He reached into the medicine cabinet and pulled out a toothbrush with Dorito bristles and his Mountain Dew flavored toothpaste. Ew. After finishing, he stripped down and headed to the shower, turned on the faucet, which showered him with liquid Axe body spray. Andrew, you see, was a rich man. His father was one of the top dentists in the country, which allowed him to get his toothpaste patented. As he finished his shower, he dried himself with his Miko Hatsune towel and rushed back to his room and got ready for his date. He checked his watch again, saw it was 10 a.m. Watch at 95%.
Okay, that's good. Still have time for my 30-minute katana practice, though I probably should have done that before I showered.
He pondered his options heavily and decided to hold off on his practice.
It'll be fine. I'm already experienced in the art of combat. I can protect m'lady.
He put on his least tight-fitting shirt, which had a hole under the left arm, his lucky cargo pants, with a patch of a hen wearing a tie on the right back pocket, his fedora, and he wrapped his katana around his waist. Like the true samurai he was. Oh. He was about to leave, but stopped in front of a shrine next to his door, which held a body pillow of Astolfo. I don't know who that is. He gave a quick bow and thanked it for this chance and for a successful date. He arrived where he was to meet his m'lady, but she was already there. Violet looked like an angel with her long black hair, her perfect round eyes, her bountiful breasts, and slim waist that was covered in a beautiful purple dress with a sunflower design. She turned towards him and smiled.
Oh, senpai, there you are.
Violet said with much joy in her voice. She skipped over to him and gave him a hug.
I've missed you, senpai. Couldn't wait for today.
I've missed you too, m'lady. I hope that today will be worth the wait. I am excited as well.
Andrew gave Violet a green-tinted smile due to his toothpaste. Violet just giggled and took his hand. He looked at his watch real quick and saw that it was at 80%.
Oh, damn,
He thought to himself.
Shouldn't have played Pokemon Go on this thing while I was on my way here. Here's hoping it survives today.
Andrew sighed lightly as he thought of this. Violet turned to him with a look of confusion and...
What's wrong, senpai?
Andrew shook his head and smiled.
It's nothing, my dear. Just making sure of something. Now let us go enjoy ourselves.
Andrew tightened his hand around Violet's, and with a grin they headed off to their first destination. An arcade filled to the brim with both crane games and other arcade games. Andrew won a stuffed animal for Violet and demonstrated his gun skills at the light gun games. Everyone stood in awe as he breezily beat the game without taking any damage. Violet cheered him on and yelled,
That's my senpai.
How many more times am I going to have to say that? He was beside himself. After the arcade, they headed towards the theater. There was a long line to get in the theater, but thankfully, he had the foresight to pre-order tickets. They went to see the latest anime movie of My Hero Academia. It wasn't 20 minutes into the movie when both Andrew and Violet started making out. This was easy to do since they were all alone in the auditorium. But just as they were about to get more physical, another couple sat behind them. Andrew sulked, but Violet held his hand and smiled.
Don't worry, Senpai. I can't wait to get back to your place. That way I can have you all to myself.
She winked at him. He winked back and gave her a kiss on the forehead. This is so weird. As the movie ended, they started to head towards a sushi restaurant. Andrew looked at his watch. It was now 4 p.m. His watch was at 40%. He looked shocked and wondered why his watch was this low. He looked at the watch's apps and saw they were all open. Oh, fuck, he thought to himself as he closed them. Violet just looked at him and asked what was wrong. He gave a dismissive answer of,
"Oh, nothing, dear, just closing my apps."
She nodded, and they both went into the restaurant and enjoyed themselves. They spent a good 2 hours inside and left with full bellies. His watch beeped and showed that it was now at 20%. What is with this watch? It would seem that what he feared was happening, even though it was full this morning. He had it on, which his manufacturer said would eat up the battery quick. He kept his composure, though.
It's okay, I still have time, I hope.
He led Violet to the last place on their date, a river that housed a sakura tree. It was in full bloom. It was a beautiful sight. The trip took both of them a good 20 minutes to get there by bus. Both of them sat under the tree and looked at the river, which glistened under the sunset. Andrew wrapped his arm around Violet, and she leaned on him and sighed happily.
Today was the best day of my life, Senpai. I just don't want this to end.
Me either, Vi. I really wish this could last forever.
He looked at his watch again and saw it was at 2%. Andrew held close to Violet and kissed the top of her head.
I want you to know this.
Violet looked up at him with wonder in her eyes, 1% flashing on the watch.
I love you, Violet. I love you so much.
0%, and the world slowly started turning black around them. Violet didn't seem to care or notice. He tried to hold her close but fell forward as he passed through her, and his virtual goggles slipped off his greased-up face. Oh! Andrew pounded his fat fist on the ground in frustration as he was so close this time to get farther in the simulation he had bought from the dark web. He sighed and carried his 400-pound body towards the window of his apartment and looked at the neon-filled lights of the city. He sighed again and then looked at the building across the street. He noticed the familiar face and quickly got his binoculars and zoomed in on the figure. It was his love, his milady, Violet, which he had been stalking from afar since he moved in.
Soon,
He said to himself as he licked his lips.
Soon my fantasy will become a reality.
He laughed to himself as he continued to watch his milady. This was like a Neckbeard version of Dark Mirror? That was fucking crazy. Holy shit, Babbsy, that was incredible. Thank you so much for writing that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really love when you write crazy fan fiction. That's really, really funny. So, thanks for being here, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to do the YouTube thing with the liking, commenting, subscribing, all that nonsense. And I have a Ko-Fi if you'd like to support this channel so I can keep doing this. I also have a merch store if you'd like to support this channel and get a t-shirt in the process. You know, those are all things. And if you do have a story, any kind of story really, that you want to share with me, you can share it with me on my subreddit at r/Moonhorse Stories. I check it every day, so I'll see it there. I love you all so very, very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.